How's it going, guys? Um, in this video, we're going to be talking about obviously the 2024 uh, season, the upcoming season, of course. But we're going to be specifically talking about the Texas A&M game, Week One. Now, as you guys know, Notre Dame faces Texas A&M Week One, and there's a lot of anxiety. If I had to be honest, if I have to be honest, with you guys, I'm feeling a little bit anxious because obviously Kyle Field, it's a tough place to play, and I'm just getting a little nervous. But so obviously Texas A&M is Week One, and I'm a little nervous as I was saying because I don't know how good Riley Leonard is going to be. I don't know how healthy he's going to be. But let's just say this, right? Let's just say that Riley Leonard lights it up, like, and this game helps us win. Well, maybe my whole feeling about Riley Leonard, maybe I'll definitely feel a hell of a lot better, you know, because obviously I'll know that he's a better than Sam Hartman, but I gotta basically believe it to I gotta see it to believe it, um, you know. The main concern for me going into this game, as I was saying, is just is Riley Leonard going to stay healthy? Is he going to get injured? Is he going to get I just don't know how good he's going to do. Um, and then secondly, the next another thing that I'm really worried about, I would say, is I guess the O line. Okay, the O line is probably the biggest concern throughout the whole out of all the positions. I think the O line is like the most concerning. And the reason why I think that is because again, a lot of the offensive linemen went to the NFL, so we lost um, a lot of veterans, I guess. So I think that's the only the biggest question mark, I guess, for Notre Dame going into this Texas A&M. You know, going into Kyle Field Week One, is just the offensive line because obviously a lot of them are leaving. Obviously, a lot of them went to the NFL, but that's kind of like my biggest concern. You know, that what happens if the offensive line struggles early on in the game, and that's kind of like my worry because I don't know how good they're really going to be. I don't know how good. I'm pretty sure Texas A&M's got a big front seven. I'm pretty sure. So I mean they're gonna bring it for sure. I know that. Um, and again, we all know Mike Elko is I guess a defensive he was a defensive coordinator, so he's a defensive minded coach. So that's why it concerns me a lot. Now, do I think we could win this game? Yes, I do think that we could win this game for sure. Even if I don't care what it looks like, as long as we go in there and we take care of business and we find a way to win, that's all that really matters to me. You know, that's all that really matters. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care if we win by a field goal. I don't care if we win by just a touchdown. It's a win. It's only get they need this win is all I'm trying to say. You know, they need this win. I think this game is a must win in my opinion because I think it's going to set the tone for the whole season. This game could define the whole season, and if they lose this game, okay, well that means that they'll have to win the rest of their games, and that's kind of tough to do. Um, Especially if they lose this game. But I could totally see a scenario if they do lose this game, um, then they just bounce back. They get pissed off. Marcus Freeman gets pissed off or whatever, and they just bounce back and win somehow find a way to win the rest of their games. I mean, I could totally see that. I mean, if anyone could do it, it's Marcus Freeman. Um, and we got a lot of veterans on the team, so I mean, I could totally see a scenario like that. if we end up losing to Texas A&M, I can see a scenario where Marcus Freeman's kind of you know pissed off about how that why they lost, and and he's just gonna be. I just feel like he's gonna be more motivated, and then he's gonna push the team to win the rest of their games. And that's what I think could really happen. They like if they lose this game, they can most definitely win the rest. Um, because obviously the schedule again is not. Let's just be honest. Like it's not. It's kind of like a cup. It's Cupcake City in a way. Because obviously you get Miami of Ohio. Of course, that's an easy game. Northern Illinois is okay. That's easy. We get those at home, of course. Um, we got easy games going up in going into Louisville. And even then though, I'm not really big on Louisville right now, but it's still a game that you have to take seriously because again, Louisville beat us last year, and even though it's at home, we've seen a lot of upsets happen. As I was saying, as a Notre Dame fan, I've seen a lot of upsets happen. In especially in Notre Dame Stadium when obviously when they're favored to win. So I mean, even though I think that Marcus Freeman's going to have that game, I think he's going to have that game like circled. He's going to. That's basically he's. I think he's thinking about he's got that game definitely circled on his calendar for a revenge game. Like, so I think Notre Dame's definitely. I think that game is really that game's on their minds. I think, and they want revenge. I believe. So anyways, so yeah, this Texas A&M game, I really do believe this game is, it's a must-win game in my opinion. Because again, all of America is watching you again. Game college football game day is going to be there watching you. Um, everyone's saying that you're going to make the playoff this year, and so you need to go out there and show them that you could win a big game. In a big moment. You know what I mean? That's where it starts. And then after that, if you beat Texas A&M, well, you could just, you'll have momentum going into, Miami of Ohio. You'll have momentum going into, the rest of the games, on the schedule. So that's just kind of like my thing. I am a little worried, as I was saying, because the offensive line. What happens if they struggle early? What happens at that point? You know, well that's going to be like the biggest concern because obviously Texas A&M is obviously they have a big front seven, as I was saying. I'm assuming, and Mike Elko is a defensive minded coach, so of course the defense isn't going to be bad. The defense is. I think the defense is going to be better than it was when Jimbo Fisher was there. So that's the reason why, and the reason why I think that is because Mike Elko is a good coach, and he's always put together great defenses. So I'm just a little bit, I guess, I'm just concerned about all that. Just concerned about the offensive line mostly. Um, Riley Leonard, I'm not quite sold on him as I was saying. I don't really think that he's a step up, but if he proves me wrong, then my whole thing about Riley Leonard will, he's just got to prove me wrong is all. He's got to show me that he's better than Sam Hartman. I just don't really think that he's. I think that okay, Riley Leonard. I feel that maybe he's more athletic than Sam Hartman. I just don't think that he's. I don't think that he's like. I don't think he's that great of a thrower though. Like I think Sam Hartman's a better thrower, but I think Riley Leonard is. I think he's more like I had to say that I think that Riley Leonard is more athletic, like, and maybe he's just not really that great at throwing the ball, you know. Um, that's just my opinion on that. That's why I'm not really quite like I guess sold on him right now. I basically got to see it to believe it. If he's really that great, like I just don't want to really hype him up because I hyped Sam Hartman up, last year. So and I thought he was a missing piece. So I'm not gonna sit here and hype him up or anything like that because I mean look where it got me last year. I said the same thing about Sam Hartman. So, but yeah, I mean this Texas A&M game is really um, it really worries me a lot. It's really concerning. Um, Everybody's gonna be watching, like all of America is gonna be watching you, dude, on this night, and you got to put on your best performance to win that game. That's the key. Um, and again, I don't care what it looks like. I don't care if you go out there and you win by three, like a field goal or something like that. That's good. You won the game. It doesn't matter by how much, as long as you go out there, put on your best performance and win the game. You know, that's all I care about. Um, because it's obviously gonna build momentum, throughout the whole season, as I was saying, and they're gonna have even more momentum going into their home games up against Miami of Ohio, Northern Illinois, uh, Purdue, Louisville. You know, like so that's why I think this game to me is like a must win. In my personal opinion, I think it is. Even though yeah, they could win the rest of their games even if they lose this game, which that's another possible scenario where if they lose this game, well, they could win the rest of their games because maybe Marcus Freeman again is just pissed off about their performance or something like if they end up losing or something like. So I'm not saying that's impossible, but it's just tough. It's tough to do. But anyways, I think that Marcus Freeman, if anyone could do it, it's definitely Marcus Freeman. So, um, but yeah, guys, this Texas A&M game is really, really, you got to put on your best performance. You got to show the world that you can win a big game because we haven't done it in a long time, and it's time to start doing it now because we haven't won a big game in like over 20 years. So, and I think it's been long overdue. So we need to start winning the big games, and it's only going to help, recruiting too. So, but anyways, guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think about this Texas A&M game, and be sure to hit the like button and subscribe button. And until the next one, peace out and go Irish.